Go ahead and continue downstairs and speak with Brandalar, see if we have fulfilled our obligations. It says there are still more doppelgangers. Won't be safe until we have killed them all. Alright, well, we gotta hurry downstairs then. Unless the cook was maybe one. We'll visit her last. That's a doppelganger. Quite a few of them. Alright, well, Bran, just like we'll rush over and take them on. Maybe able to rush next. Doppelgangers are tricky, but fortunately not the most impressive in combat. I think that was all of them. You're not a doppelganger, are you? Okay. You seem mostly unimpressed by the scene unfolding around them. Let's head back upstairs and see if Brandalar is satisfied now. You've done very well. I'm glad to have worked with such as we. Aldeth should have our reward if he hasn't already given it to us. Well, we'll share the good news. You must thank us for saving his consortium. He will reward all of us greatly for what we have done. He has a sword, family heirloom. Could be useful if we were ever to run into those shape-shifting creatures again. If we are ever in trouble, come to his estate. Yeslik has even leveled up. Nice. Nothing too impressive. I guess the cleric level up, so maybe some new spells. Okay, extra use of animate dead or dispel magic sounds kind of nice. Not yet at the level where we can cast level 4 spells. That's okay. You said that we found a nice looking sword here. Let's go ahead and see if Imwin can identify it by sight. If not, we have a spell for that. It is a bastard sword. +1, but +3 versus shapeshifters, known as Kundar. It appears much like any other, but in the presence of any shapeshifting creatures, it becomes warm as its power stirs. Its namesake was the original owner of the weapon. His tale, though mostly long forgotten, was wrought with treachery and deceit. Rumors persist he paid a fearsome price for the blade. But he also revealed the true identities of those that sought to betray him. Their names and crimes are since lost to history. That's pretty cool. So I much prefer two-handed weapons, but Minsk might actually have a use for that. I'll go ahead and give it to him now. Just have it in like a side slot. Generally, Varskona is better, being a longsword +2, but I can immediately switch out to this guy whenever we're fighting more doppelgangers, if I remember. So that's nice to have. Sorry about the mess, everyone. We'll be heading on over to see Scar now. Don't want to keep him waiting. He should be pleased to learn of what we have done in such a short time. Flaming Fist compound is likely around here somewhere. Nice looking red building here. Commoners. Looks like entrances to the sewers all throughout the city. These sewer grates. Let's keep heading west. Very nice looking mansion. Some kind of gear. Figure out where the entrance is. Up here, right here. Take a look in there super fast, in case it's like a shop or something. Ooh, it's like an actual manor. Poor little thieves. Oh no. We've chosen the wrong home to break into. Do not rob from a simple merchant, but the master mage Sunan. He will brook no excuses. Today is the day that we die. Well, I know that you said you wouldn't tolerate excuses, but we have a real good one. He'll not be killing us alone. He has his servants to aid in the killing. They are but a teleport spell away. Maka and Jular reveal themselves. Well, this got a lot more interesting. Although he is a mage and he's kind of all up in front of us. I kind of like that. I'm really reluctant to kill a man in his own home, but he's not really leaving us much options. Go ahead and Wand of Frost. And can attempt a magic missile that might put him down right as it is. And I'd love to cast like a chant or remove fear preemptively, but I don't know if I'll have time for that. I'm actually going to have Yeslik go and do battle with Jular. This guy's still standing, but that's okay. Ready a chromatic orb for the archer, and another round of magic missiles. Ooh, Mince! Ouch. Okay, so the mage is dead, but Mince just got hit for 14 damage. That's nasty. Take a potion there, and spare no expense in knocking this guy down. Hopefully, this is okay. Nice. Oh, not so nice. Gonna have to run, keep chugging potions. Try and take on the Ka here. Ka. There's one, there goes two. Alright. Well, that archer there hit quite hard, probably with these unidentified arrows here. Plate mail armor, help ourselves too. Nice looking robes, nice looking ring, more gold, and other such things. Okay. And the music is a bit lighthearted. Okay though. Emmeline, can you perhaps make sense of these things? Minsk is likely stronger than I, so he can pass that off and maybe carry this plate mail. Or, like, Yeslik's got it. He's okay in Yeslik's hands. And try to identify all this stuff. Our inventory was not so full. What is this ring? Ring of Wizardry. Ever memory. Long ago, a grand wizard from Am was rumored to have defied Mystra's limitations of the magical arts. Legends spoke of this wizard being able to cast spells without the limitation of memorization. But it turns out that his powers stemmed from the magical rings he had made for himself. Everlasting memory was a hoax, but his rings continued to be one of the most sought-after items in the realms. It doubles the amount of first-level spells a mage can memorize. I think we already have one of those on Dinah here. So it seems we have found yet another of this Wizard of Am. These contraptions here. So I'm assuming doubling will not work using both of these. We can't double, but Emmeline would be very much happy to double her spells. Let's make sure I can go do that right now. It's just more magic missiles. This is a longsword of some kind. These are some arrows of piercing. Oh, everybody with full inventories now because of these scrolls. We'll worry about this later. Probably want to tend to our wounds here, but we're kind of light on healing actually. I've got a couple of my innate cure wounds for my friends here. Let's take a look around real quick. Finders keepers. Some kind of long hallway ending in a closet. Ooh, okay. This looks to be a bedroom of some kind. Oh, I was kind of expecting that to be locked or trapped. Surprisingly, neither. For a guy that was so paranoid about thieves barging into his home. Not my intent, but here we are. So let's go straight to Scar then. No more unexpected detours. It's just that. Do need to find a shop still though to unburden ourselves. Tiax. Commoners. So they can speak with this Tiax fellow. Excuse me, ladies. Glorious Cyric. Where have we heard that name before? He is foretold of our meeting. It is his duty, nay, destiny, to stand as Tiax with the world kneeling before him. Or us. He would travel with us and do our bidding, but our power shall add to his, and great Tiax will ascend to the highest office in the land. So Cyric, I believe, was the patron god of Mulahay in the Nashkel mines, as well as Basilis, the praised cleric animating hordes of undead. Well, I suppose we might as well have a bit of fun with our new friend here, mostly just inquiring how he foresees this will all happen. What makes you think you are going to rule everything? That's a pretty big job for such a diminutive fellow. He is. As Tiax said, it is his destiny. Cyric will lift Tiax on high, hurtling him to his rightful place when the time comes. And this Cyric is who, exactly, to you? We do know of him, but curious to see what his interpretation of him might be. He can but barely comprehend this. Destiny links Tiax with such a dullard? No, it does not matter. He will make sense, or make use of us as fodder. Alright. Well, you are in your own little world, aren't you? Good day to you, and goodbye. Fate decrees the world to thine hands, and you flout her as a common wench? Are ye cup-shot? Mutton-headed fool. So it seems like a custom of gnomes to, once rejected from forcing themselves into your party, get quite hostile. But that's fine. Tiax. Interesting fellow. The Scar. Speak with you. He's glad to see we have returned. What news do we bring? Seems that doppelgangers have taken over many of the higher echelons in the Coster. The monsters are all dead now, slain by us. Says we have done very well. He will be doubling our wages for the heroic service. Let's keep in touch. He needs our help in investigating the Iron Throne. We just gained 2,000 gold. He has another job we may be interested in. Be well paid for the services. Care to hear more? We are always interested in more work. What does it entail? His problem is this. Every night, people have been disappearing from the streets of the city. His men have been scouring the city trying to find the culprit, but so far to no avail. People have begun to get very scared, and very few are willing to leave their homes at night. Something must be done, and fast. He'll pay us 300 gold in advance with a 1,000 gold bonus if we discover what's been happening. Well, we agree to your terms. It's very simple. He wants us to patrol the east of the city and find an entrance to the sewers. Perhaps we'll get lucky and find out what's been happening. If we do, come back to the Flaming Fist Barracks here. The only clue is that probably be our only clue so far has led us to the sewers. And they also found tracks of a many-legged creature, a centipede-like monster. That's not very reassuring. Well, as we consider our options, I'll just take a quick break in the video. Be right back in just a moment with more Baldur's Gate. Stay tuned, everyone.